Habari ma Africa, mimi ni King, ninafuraha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutanzama King Seso. Ladies and gentlemen, our former US ambassador, South African ambassador, has been kicked out of America and he landed here in South Africa with a hero's welcome from the ANC and other alliance partners. They celebrated him for standing his ground and never shifting on the morals of Ubuntu and also not allowing the US to bully him. And now the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille, has suggested that Tony Leon should be the next person who becomes the South African ambassador in the US. They don't hide it anymore. It has to be a white person. It has to be a person who's pro-apartheid. And many people have said, no, Tony Leon's father is the one that hanged Soli Mahlangu. Well, his father was the judge that gave that death penalty ruling so that Solomon Mahlangu can be, hanged. So there is absolutely no chance that the ANC can do that. Hey, with the ANC, you can never say never. Anything can happen. And I also want to speak about another topic that is making waves here in South Africa. Is how is it that the DA is a bigger party than the Economic Freedom Fighters? Never mind that. How is it that the DA is number 2, the second biggest political party in South Africa? The maths does not match according to South African language. So I want to speak about this because at 55% currently, I am telling you right now, in 2029, the DA will not retain the Western Cape. Let's talk about that, Paseta, and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're talking about our former South African ambassador in the US, Ibrahim Rasool, who has came back home and received with a hero's welcome there at the airport. And we're talking about the DA as president, really, because who cares about what John Steenhuisen says? We all want to hear what Helen has to say, Gogo Zille. And Gogo Zille has suggested that Tony Leon. Hey, guys, I'm sorry, man. I can't take the DA serious. I can't take the DA serious. Tony Leon must be the one who takes over as... Hey guys, anyway, guys, listen, we are having a gala dinner on the 2nd of May. Things are going very well. Thank you for those in the past 2-3 days who have purchased ticket. We really appreciate that. We really were struggling. We really are struggling to pay off our bill, ladies and gentlemen, catering and transportation and all of those things. But thank you for those who are adhering to the call to purchase their ticket and not purchase the ticket in the last moments. And really, we want to assist you guys to have a good time here in Kimberley. And, it is our responsibility to make sure that the gala dinner is a big success. So with you purchasing your ticket or making even a donation towards the gala dinner really makes a big difference. Thank you so much for everyone who is contributing and who's purchasing ticket. For those who haven't already, please go to www.paseta.co.za and purchase your ticket there. There is our contact details, emails, and everything. You can talk to us there, and we will gladly assist you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about Ibrahim Rasool, who came to South Africa and received a hero's welcome here in South Africa at the airport, at the Winnie Madikizela Airport there in the Cape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I have to say this because I was shocked when the assassinator, the shooter of Chris Hani, when he left South Africa, none of us went to the airport. No Communist Party, no ANC officials, no ANC Women's League to stand for Mamadi Mpohani. Nobody cared to go to the airport at that instant when that man was leaving. I know there was nothing they could do, but just to show, or maybe say hamba mkodoi, or something there in the airport when that old man was leaving here. We had to follow him there at home to make an interview where he spits in the face of South Africans by saying if he had another chance to do it again, he would do it again. So yeah, when I saw Ibrahim receiving this hero's welcome and everything, I was like, how can South Africans, we can go to the airport when we want to. So our priorities are clear to me as to what we prioritize as serious and what we prioritize as not a matter of concern. So guys, America is not happy with you guys receiving this man like a hero. But again, there's nothing that we can do to worsen the relationship of America and South Africa. There is nothing. It is true. If South Africa sends a white person to be an ambassador, that white person will have a better relationship with the American government than a black person. And somebody has to say it like that. Don't mix around words. It's no longer a matter of diplomacy. It's no longer a matter of ANC has got it's a matter of race now. It's a matter of race. If you are going to go to America and say free Palestine, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. They're not going to listen to you. If you're going to go to America and say there is no genocide of the Dutch people in South Africa, you're gone. You're gone. So don't even waste your time, ladies and gentlemen. Someone said Ulindi Sisulu must be brought back there and become an ambassador. Don't stress the old woman with this rubbish. I think the US does not have an ambassador here in South Africa. So why should we have an ambassador that side? Let it go. Let's just continue communicating the way we are communicating until they appoint an ambassador. We will also appoint an ambassador at that time. So I agree with the fact the president's office are saying, listen, Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, will take the time to appoint the next person and will take everything into consideration. But the only thing actually to take in consideration is race. Is a race. So best believe it will not be another black person. It will be probably a colored or an Indian that will be appointed there. It will not be a black person. There is no black person that is going to enjoy that role right now. You understand what I'm saying? President Trump is not going to be a president forever. Let's not beat around the bush on that fact. President Cyril Ramaphosa is not going to be president forever. They are serving their last term. They will never be presidents again in our lifetime. So, yeah, we just have, it's going to be a bumpy ride for South Africans for the next 5 years. So, yeah, that's what is happening. Guys, I see Usisi Ntiki and I saw Umama Dr. Kanyisile also are questioning this thing that I questioned during the elections, because remember I voted for the EFF, and I was thinking to myself, how is it when I saw the campaigning of the EFF, everything they do, filling stadiums, doing everything, the DA was even afraid to make events in stadiums. You remember they went to the Union Building, marching there to the Union Building, had a small gathering there with umbrellas and stuff like that. The DA does not have the numbers. Where do they get this 22% from? Where does the DA... I mean, common sense tells you that it's not possible. Why do we say that? White people or Afrikaner people constitute about 7.3 to 7.5% of South African population. 7. And we know that colored people are 8%, thereabout. So colored and white people added together is about 15%, 16% added together. And remember, when we say white people constitute 7%, it does not mean that all those white people are over the age of 18. It's not the adults. The adults are somewhere at 3 point something percent. Do you guys understand what argument we're making? White people, about 4% of that 7% are eligible to vote. And then you still have the issue that some of them vote for other parties like the Freedom Front Plus. You understand? Some of them vote for the ANC. You know, I see the EFF has got white people now also. That's a topic for another video. But I'm saying not all white people vote for the DA. And not all white people are over the age of 18 and are eligible to vote for the DA. And not all white people actually participate or even care about politics. Because their unemployment on the white race is less than 10%, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure that less than 10%, they don't even want jobs because they are sorted generationally, generational wealth in their family. You understand? Very few white people are living below the poverty line. Very few when it comes to percentage-wise. So where is the Democratic Alliance getting these numbers from? Where? Western Cape. Let's look at Western Cape. In the Western Cape, in 2019, let me start in 2019, okay? In 2019, the DA got 1.14 million people. 1.1 million people. 1,140,647,000 people. This is what they got. 1,140,647,000 people. This is now the DA. They got 55%. They got 20 seats in the provincial legislature in 2019. Okay? And I said, there is something wrong with these numbers. It's like they don't want the DA to lose the Western Cape. And the DA will lose the Western Cape in 2029. Because the DA has moved out of their DNA of racism. And now some white people don't like this. They don't like this new DA that says, if you sign the Bella bill, we're going to go. And you sign the Bella bill, they say, yeah, we are staying because we don't want the EFF to come in, eh? We are staying, eh? Ons gaan nergens nie. Ons kan dit nie toelaat dat die MK party moet ingaan nie, so ons gaan maar bly. That's what they are saying. They don't want to move because their biggest concern is EFF and the MK political party. Mainly the MK political party. They fear Zuma. Yo, white people fear Zuma. White people fear Zuma. If you had to make them choose between Zuma and Julius Malema, they will have a headache. They won't know who to choose. They won't know. I'm pretty sure they will choose Zuma over Malema, but that's my opinion. So we saw that the ANC in 2019 got about 589,000 votes. That was their 28% that they got in 2019. And the EFF had 83,000 votes there. And that was a 4% with 2 seats. And the Good Party at that time got 1 seat. ACDP got 1 seat. And we got the Freedom Front Plus, Aljama also doing well. So you can remember, I think the PA was not there at that time. So now in 2024, the Democratic got 1,088,000 votes. They dropped in the count. They didn't drop in the percentage. They dropped in the count. Actually, in the percentage, they dropped a small, less than 0.5% that they dropped. But they still maintain their 24 seats, and they still maintain those votes over 1 million. But I'm telling you, they will not be over 1 million again. That pathetic alliance is doing very well in Cape Town. And the Triple C is also doing the Colours Congress is doing very well there. So when we look at the ANC in 2019 they got 28%. In 2024 they got 19%. Okay, and that was the 300,000 votes that they got from the 500,000 votes they got. So the ANC dropped very much. And then you've got the PA that got 153,000 votes, and that got them the 7%. I see the PA growing to, in the Western Cape specifically, growing almost to 10% or just above 10%, 11, maybe 12% in 2029, because Gayton has shown his colors that, hey guys, we want to hire you and we are racist. Gayton actually calls himself a colored person. Hey, Mtomyama. Yeah, with the Sotho mother. Anyway, it's when we have to describe what is colored in South Africa, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we have the EFF there with 104,000 votes. Remember, the EFF was coming from that 83,000. So the EFF improved, but the seats did not improve. It's still two seats that they maintained. The Triple C got one seat, and I think they will also improve a little bit, maybe from that 46,000 to somewhere there at 66,000 to 70,000 votes, getting the 2 seats maybe for the Triple C. Freedom Front Plus maintains the 1 seat. I don't see them improving in the Western Cape unless the people are coming from the DA moving to Freedom Front Plus. It's a very small, insignificant party, that one. Al Jamaa 1 seat. ACDP also 1 seat. The Good Party and the MK coming there with 11,000 votes. We know the MK is making strides in the Western Cape, so expect MK in the local elections next year to get 1 seat minimum. Expect the MK to get 1 seat minimum. One seat. So guys, again, another thing that we don't talk about is the issue of Gogozil. People always say that will Jacob Zuma make it in good health into 2029 and everything? Will Helen Zille live forever? Is she a vampire, that one? Because this party, with all the Oppenheimer funding and everything, is hanging on her shoulders. There is no man there in the DA that we can say, okay, the future of the DA is bright because of this person, like Tony Leon, who's been suggested that he must take over. No, Tony Leon is taking over nothing. He will never, in his dreams, I know the DA wants position and everything, in their wildest dreams will the ANC allow that type of rubbish to take place. Tony Leon's father was a judge who sentenced Solomon Mahlangu to the death penalty. So that one is out of, we cannot, it's out of, we don't even want to talk about that. But listen, as Tandazeni TA lose a vote, please, because ETA I now am a vote kahle. Because where do they take these millions of people that vote for them? Where? When they only have 1 million in when they only have 1 million in the Western Cape, their strongest province, where do they take the other millions from? Where do they take the other millions from? People, can we be honest? Can we be honest? I want to check something here. I just want to check some. Where do they get these millions of people that are voting for them? You can't tell me that abantu abamnyama sinlima to that level. You can't. Nationally, the DA has got 6 million people. How? 6 million votes? No, man, the IEC does not make sense, man. These numbers don't make sense, man. Guys, these numbers don't make sense, man. Can somebody make these numbers to make sense to me? We know the ANC got 6 million votes, 6 million voters. But now, where does this 12 million come from? And where does the 12 million come from for the 6 million come from? Almost 7 million for the DA. It does not make sense. All of these numbers don't make sense. EFF, MK, all of them don't make sense. But anyways, yeah, that's what we find ourselves. The IEC is gonna play games with us next year again, and the following year again, until we change the method of counting, the method of voting. The vote rigging is going to continue in South Africa, unfortunately. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Yeah, so I can't wait. 55%. The Democratic Alliance is sitting as 55%. If the ANC could drop from 57%, 55% to the 40s, the DA can drop as well. The DA can drop as well. Many things have to go in our way, because we see that the DA gets easily angered by the Bella Bill and the NHI. Those things must be implemented. Even this expropriation, this weak expropriation bill must also be implemented, so that we can see what will they do. And also the corruption of the DA, the DA Premier of Western Cape and their ministers of the different department. We must always put a magnifying glass on it and expose it when it happens. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace and Pan-Africanism. I salute you.